It's on Reno Sports Bar and Grill. When you come to Reno's, you better come to play. Dine and have a great time any night or day. It's on, we beat the rest. A great time is on tap. It's on, northeast and west, you'll find us on the map. It's on Reno Sports Bar and Grill.
Welcome to Pickleball, Michigan and beyond, a show that explores the people, players, places, and most importantly, communities that make up pickleball in Michigan and around the world. Here's your host, Tony Conley.
Welcome to Pickleball, Michigan and beyond. I'm Tony Conley, of course. Thank you so much for joining us with episode 27. We've got a great guest for you today, and I want to remind you that our producer is Benjamin Robinson. We've got another Ben today. Ben Ipema is the owner of the Friendly Pickle in the Kalamazoo area. He joins us today. We like to talk with folks who are running the coolest of pickleball facilities in the state of Michigan. Ben, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm honored to be among the coolest. That's great.
How's life? How you living?
Oh, life is great. I got into this after running a software company, and so, doing something 16 hours a day, 7 days a week is a break.
Well, let's start. Let's go back to the beginning. Tell us a little bit about your background, starting from where you grew up.
Yeah, so I grew up on the west side of Chicago. I was actually born in Grand Rapids, but then at age 5, family moved to Chicago following my dad with his career, and loved growing up in that west side Oak Park River Forest community. It was fantastic, great place to grow up. We spent summers coming up to Michigan and had a family place in Holland, and I kind of point in that direction because we still have family in the Holland area and spend most of our summertime weekends and many weekdays there now as well. But we just love Michigan.
So, Bears or Lions fan?
Well, I'm actually not a fan of anything.
Wow.
I follow a few golfers and I follow some pickleball pros, but I'd rather participate.
Okay.
I love to do. I don't really want to sit and watch.
All right. So you're an entrepreneur. I know that you had a great journey starting in IT consulting. So take us from there to where you are
Actually,
now.
I'm going to start a little bit earlier than that. My dad built houses when he was 19 years old until probably 29 for about 10 years. And then he suddenly sold his business and decided to become a minister. And that change and his trade background caused him to want to teach each of his kids, so myself, my brother, and my sister, how to do a trade. So I learned carpentry, plumbing, electrical work, etc., and very quickly picked up the idea that I could do whatever I wanted to do. I pursued a college degree in computer science, but I also worked summers doing carpentry work, doing odd jobs, and would hang out my shingle and kind of do my own thing. So that entrepreneurial bent or appetite was there from a very early age on. I was doing decks and painting houses and all kinds of different things. So it's been there for quite a while. And then college led me to understand, there's something I could do as a professional services type business, and quickly discovered, there's these things called computer networks. And became a certified network engineer and developed a following of clients. And just going out and pitching my skills was something that came naturally to me because I'd been doing it for a long time already. And then that led into other businesses as I came across different opportunities along the way. I've been involved in banking. I'm still in the banking world as a director of a local bank, First National Bank of Michigan. I've been involved in a business doing trade show displays, of course, IT, as you mentioned, and then even a small manufacturing business where, we did all kinds of interesting things. So lots there.
All right, let's talk about pickleball because my journey only started about a year and a half ago, and my home gym is owned by Jessie Stipkak and her husband.
Yep.
And she bugged me for years to come play pickleball, come play pickleball. And I was actually looking for something low impact to get me some cardio. So I finally went. I've been hooked ever since. Tell us about your journey. How did it start?
Well, similarly, I was invited by a friend who had been playing for a couple of years. My journey started in the fall of 2018, and I was invited to go play during a lunch hour. I had played racquetball, paddleball, and tennis previously, and so I understand paddle sports generally, court dynamics, and how the ball tends to move. I was still playing like a golden retriever, that new player who comes out and chases down every ball. That was me, right? And I loved it. In tennis, I was the guy who wanted to play at the net. In racquetball, I was always up at that front wall, or paddleball, same kind of thing. I like that quick reaction stuff that happens at the non-volley zone line. That just really appealed to me. After 3, 4 weeks, I was hooked. And in fact, probably 2 months into it, my wife, who was a lifelong tennis player, came along and picked up the game and has been involved ever since.
So how often do you play now? And do you play enough that you have a rating?
I do have a rating. I want to say in the fall of 2019, I thought it was important to get a rating. I joined a tournament, got a rating of 3.7 something at that tournament, and then played a couple more after that. And I don't agree, but Duper says I am a 4.7 player. And
Ooh.
the mixed doubles
All
rating,
right.
I think, is more accurate at 4.296. So
Okay. All
now
right.
I know my rating to the third decimal place, so I kind of keep track, right?
So how do you fare when you play 5.0 players? Do you compete?
I think I compete, but I'd have to ask them. I think they're also kind of nice to me, right? Because it's very clear when somebody on the other side of the net has an opportunity and you see their eyes light up and they still give it to you in a way that you're going to get it back or have a chance to get it back. I'm
Please go ahead.
playing 4 or 5 times a week. So I drill once a
Mm.
week and then I'll actively play in rec play of different kinds of matches another 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Okay, so you're a pickle freak. We know that. How did you get dragged into owning the Friendly Pickle? Before you do that, tell us what it is, where it is, and
Yeah.
how you got involved with it.
Oh goodness. Well, so it's changed quite a bit. I should go back to the history if you don't mind, but
No,
in the fall
please.
of 19, um, we were introduced to a place called Friendly Pickle, and it was in Galesburg, Michigan. So that's roughly 20 minutes east of Kalamazoo. And it was just 4 courts, 5 courts in the back of a manufacturing facility. This guy had some extra space. His kids were kind of into the game, and so he put together some courts back there. And then he invited other people to join his, I'll put air quotes, club. It was never really official. It was just something that he invited people to do. And we got to play there a few times and enjoyed it. Then after about a year of playing there, now we're into the COVID season and through 2020, we noticed he was pushing his manufacturing more and more onto the courts and wanting to reduce his courts. And by the end of the spring of 2020, he decided to close it all down. And so he did that, and I just stayed in touch with him for the 6 months following closing to say, well, what are you going to do with these nets? What are you going to do with the name? What are you going to do with the Facebook following? And he had zero interest in keeping any of it. And so I picked up the remainder assets for a few bucks. And but someday maybe that would be a club I'd like to start. I liked the name, had a decent little following. People knew of it, and so we held on to that. And then in the late summer of 22, the software company that I was a partner in sold to a private equity group. And so I knew my days of working crazy hours for the software company were going to come to an end. And that's when my wife and I started looking around for where could we put a pickleball club in the Kalamazoo area, because there were maybe 3 true dedicated pickleball courts in the Kalamazoo area. And so we began doing the research. We traveled. We travel a lot anyway. But as we traveled, we suddenly decided, well, we should go visit this place in Boston. We should visit these places in Phoenix and Florida. Just as we're traveling around, check out these other clubs. What's making them successful? What's interesting? But just as importantly, what should we avoid doing when we put this together? So that research plus looking at places that were available to renovate, we not quickly, but over about a year and a half period of time, decided we should purchase land and build something from scratch because renovating a facility wouldn't get to where we wanted to be. By that, I mean, we wanted wide courts, so championship size, 7 feet from the sideline to the fence. We wanted lighting that wasn't directly over the court, shining down on you. So our lights are offset on the court, and it still needs to be good. You actually need 70-foot candles of light at 4 feet off the court surface to have really good lighting. We have that. We have wide aisles so that people can stand and watch. You can easily walk past, somebody can sit comfortably, put their shoes on, and all of that can happen simultaneously. And then lastly, we wanted to make sure there was a good, comfortable lounge. In our case, we have two lounges, one on each side of a large wall, dividing the facility in half. And so 8 indoor courts, 4 outdoor courts, comfortable places to hang out, great places to socialize, but also to watch the game and be engaged.
So is there something you want to do to the indoor and or outdoor courts that you don't currently have?
Well, yes, but I can't. I would love to add more parking spots, but we're
Mhm.
landlocked, and the 65 spots we have is all we can do. Now, that being said, we listen carefully to our members. Mostly it's about programming, what is it that they would like to see? We're constantly innovating. We're constantly trying new things. What's that next thing? And we're also trying to find what are overlap areas? What are ways that, we could invite interesting groups? And so we've done mahjong and pickleball, euchre night and pickleball, and then of course, bring your own beverage and pickleball. That's a popular social thing.
In a world where every structure tells a story, one name has been crafting narratives of success for 100 years. C.E. Gleason Constructors. For a century, we've been the general contractors of opportunity, the builders of dreams. From retail developments to state-of-the-art industrial complexes, real estate developments, and senior living communities. Our legacy is defined by the diverse portfolios of projects we've brought to life. With a commitment to craftsmanship, we've transformed visions into reality. Here's to 100 years. Let us help you expand your business. C.E. Gleason Constructors, building visions and turning dreams into reality.
The beginners, getting
Yep.
them involved. My home gym in DeWitt Township, it's amazing. Jesse always keeps a court open for beginners, instructs with them, makes sure that they play with other folks who are patient and,
Yep.
and kind of never seen anyone or very few people really promote the game like that and just be so endearing to beginning players. Karen Jackson is another one of those players. Talk a little bit about that and how that is important to help grow the game.
Yes, it is absolutely essential to continue to invite new people to the game. So we offer lessons, we have certified coaches, but it starts with a free 90-minute intro to pickleball class. Anyone can come and learn for free, and they will learn with a certified coach, and they'll learn the technique. So if they come with some kind of racket sports background, they're going to have a bit of a leg up, so to speak, but they'll pick up the game very quickly and be able to play effectively after that 90-minute session. And then we have a whole progression, a curriculum that can take you from the first time you've held a paddle all the way to being a 4 or 5 plus player. And in fact, we've had a number of people do that in less than a year. They've gone from never holding a paddle to now playing competitively at a 4 plus level. It's
I think
wonderful.
that the two biggest challenges I had as a beginning player was number one, getting the scoring down, because that can be a challenge, keeping
Can.
my big 14 wide feet out of the kitchen, but also learning how to play. As you can see here, Ben, I'm a banger.
Okay.
But I've really learned, especially from Jesse and other folks, patience and how to make sure you use the reset as opposed to allowing yourself to get hammered.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. And being comfortable having the ball come at you at a high rate of speed, I always tell people, don't be afraid to hold the line. Stand there and take it until you can see that ball coming. And all you have to do is block the ball, right?
Mhm.
Just to get it back over the net. That's it. And if you can do that and you're smooth, it will slow the game down for you to a point where you feel like you're in control again. And so slow is smooth, and or actually it's the other way, right? Smooth is slow, and slow is then fast or controlled.
So pickleball popularity at the Friendly Pickle, as well as in the state of Michigan and around the United States, is
Yep.
still somewhat exploding. Why do you think it's still growing, and do you think that will continue?
I hope it will continue. I'm planning on it continuing, but I do believe it really will. It is an approachable sport. It doesn't matter what your background is. My son, who has Down syndrome, and his peers who are in the special needs community are able to play pickleball. People in wheelchairs are able to play pickleball. So it is something that with a lot of athleticism you can become really good at, but it's not something that requires that level of capability, right? And so it's super approachable. It's a social sport. People have great conversations. They compete with each other, but then they're friends at the end of it, or most of the time they're friends. Occasionally you see people walk off mad, but that's more about the individual than it is about the game. The game is just fun. It's easy. It's a little bit silly when you think about it. It's a wiffle ball that you're hitting back and forth at each other and feeling like, "Ooh, I'm gonna win," right? But it's all of those things combined.
Ben, my wife and I travel quite a bit, especially the last 4 or 5 years. I had a son, one son playing Division I college football, and another son playing Division II college basketball. So because of that, we traveled a lot. But we're now empty nesters, so we've traveled quite a bit, anywhere from Florida to South Carolina to the Virgin Islands to wherever. And I'm amazed at wherever I go, there's a pickleball court. Wherever.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, now there is, right? And the interesting thing to me is there are probably 6 to 10 pockets of, populations where pickleball is even more popular than here in Michigan. Michigan is maybe number 8 or 9 on the overall popularity in terms of, players per thousand or whatever the metric is. But our growth is continuing nicely. The average age is continuing to come down. It's now below 34 years old. And so when you think about, early on, I always heard, oh, that's for retired people. And it was largely because of, available time or money to be able to afford to play. But now, as we see that age coming down, it's wonderful to see youth coming into the game. What I'm looking for next are the college teams and the high school teams. Once those come to be on a regular basis in every state, I think we'll have pickleball for life.
Ben, you mentioned you and your wife travel quite a bit, and I
Yeah,
imagine you've been to some pretty sweet facilities. Talk about that. Where have you seen the
sure.
coolest facilities? And
So my favorite location is St. Pete Athletic Club in Petersburg, Florida. It's a fairly new club. They opened late last year, but they have the nice mix of pickleball, paddle, and ping pong, along with weightlifting, if you remember, and a nice lounge area. Uh, it's just a wonderful club. I've also been to Pickleball Kingdom out in Phoenix. My favorite of all places is the Orchard. Perhaps you've seen them online. That's actually a supplements business where the owners liked pickleball so much they rented out additional space in their same corporate building and put in 2 pickleball courts. But they host televised tournaments once a week, and it's a fun thing. There's a lot of local pros in Phoenix who go to play there. It's just a great little venue. Wonderful stuff.
Ben, what amateur and or pro players really impress you by not only their play but perhaps their personality?
Yeah, so amateurs, it's anybody who picks up a paddle, takes to the sport, and really just applies themselves to whatever degree they can, and they make progress. They fall in love with the sport. They make new friends. That's what impresses me about amateurs. The pros, I'm kind of, I'm a little older, 63. I like Tyson McGuffin, Jay DeValier, Deckelbar. Even Martin Emmerich is a younger guy, but they all live into engaging with the fans. They are very approachable. They're super friendly. They have high energy and they love the sport. I'm hoping that they're able to, continue to engender that willingness to approach fans and stay open to that. And yeah, I don't want to see pickleball become this exclusive thing where we separate the pros from the fans and the amateurs.
I was recently watching a tournament down in Florida, and Ivan Lendl was playing. And as you know, he was a number one ranked
Yeah.
tennis player for a long, long time. Gosh,
Yeah.
he looks great. He played well, but he was very engaging to the fans down there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is what's going to carry the game forward. As long as they remain approachable, fans will continue to come in droves. Yeah. Yeah. That's a
So,
fantastic thing.
so Ben, you mentioned amateur players and what they can do to get better. What about, what are your most important tips for maybe players like me up to 3 or 3.5? What should we focus on to get our games to improve?
Practice, 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 practice. So for me, that's drilling. If you can drill at least once a week, preferably twice a week, and you're spending 25% or more of your time drilling, you're going to learn a ton. The idea that I try to do is master a shot. If I can do the same shot 50 times in a row without fail, I'll get better. I know I've gotten better, right? And then I can trust that shot every single time it comes up in the midst of a game. So work on one shot, master it, work on that next shot and master it.
Ben, what's the worst thing that's happened in your pickleball life?
Oh, in my pickleball life.
Yeah, the biggest
Uh,
challenge, whether it's business or play.
so in my pickleball life, it was tennis elbow, right? It's still called tennis elbow, not pickleball elbow. I had to stop using my right hand and arm and
Oh,
switch to playing
wow.
lefty in order to keep playing. And so I did that for about a year. I was terrible. I should have gone into a tournament to drop my rating at that point, right? Because I just couldn't hit the same kind of game. But that's probably the worst thing.
It amazes me, Ben, how many athletes like you, like me, in our age range, maybe let's go to 35 or 40 and up. Maybe you've
Yeah.
got some aches and pains, but still get in the gym and weight train, still want to do cardio stuff, still want that competitive edge. I think people would be surprised how many guys like us are playing the game.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I swam competitively in high school and college. I looked for different sports all along, and as I mentioned, I participated in racquetball and paddleball, et cetera. But pickleball is that nice mix of athleticism with that cardio. So you feel like my muscles are really building and not just purely cardio kind of exercise. And then I still lift weights twice a week because I just know how important it is to stay strong and keep the body challenged that way.
All right, what's the best thing that's happened so far in your pickleball life?
Oh, goodness. I'd say opening this club. It's been fantastic. It's the first business venture where my wife and I have been directly involved together. She did all of the decorating, so all the color choices, everything about the club in terms of look and feel is my wife. And then she's the one who almost every night she's like, what does tomorrow look like? How is the calendar filling up? Are people signing up for this or not? And so it has become both, a business element, but a great personal challenge for the two of us to do together.
And we want to encourage folks, not only in their pickleball life, but in their life with this podcast, Ben, talk about what it's like to really be invested in working in something that you love to almost to the point where it doesn't seem like work. How important is that? How cool is that?
It's very cool to be able to do something you love. It doesn't feel like work. I have a fantastic team here, a general manager, assistant general manager, and then a series of front desk staff with coaches. They make it happen for me. So I'm just making sure things keep moving. And honestly, I can spend 12, 14 hours here and feel like it's a half day. It is at 12 out of 24 hours, it's a half day. So
And so for folks who want to know more about the Friendly Pickle,
yeah.
where do they go, Ben?
Friendlypickle.com, just like it sounds. Very straightforward. We have a great website. You can find us on Facebook at The Friendly Pickle. I think we're also on Instagram. We work hard to keep everybody informed of what's happening in the club. would love to have you sign up for our email list. There's a form to fill out and become a follower if you can.
I tell you what, Ben, I promise you in the next couple of months, Julie, my wife, and I are going to come down. We're going to play some pickleball at your facility, go somewhere and break bread and have a beverage and have some fun.
That'd be great.
To that. I look forward to that opportunity. We're talking with Ben Ipema. He's the owner of the Friendly Pickle. Make sure you look them up. Ben, I appreciate you so much. Thank you, sir.
Super. Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
And to our listeners, thank you so much. We'll see you next time for episode 28 right here on Pickleball Michigan and Beyond.
Thanks for listening to Pickleball Michigan and Beyond. Follow us on Facebook and check out our website, pickleballmichiganandbeyond.com.
Hi, this is Tony Conley from Pickleball Michigan and Beyond for Willow Event Designs. It starts with a vision, a feeling, a moment you have imagined. Willow Event Designs does not just decorate spaces, we design experiences. Your story, your brand, your celebration, all brought to life. Willow Event Designs, designed to be unforgettable. Call them at 517-927-4039. You can also email them at willoweventdesigns@gmail.com. Check out their website at www.willow-event-designs.com. Check them out on Instagram and Facebook, Willow Event Designs.